In today's episode of The Bugs, Buzz and Beyond, we travel through time, across ancient empires, global pandemics, powerful economies, and even the dinner plates of migrating armies, to uncover 5 insects that didn't just exist. They reshaped human civilization. Welcome to 5 insects that changed human history. Most people swat insects away without a second thought. But today, we're shining a spotlight on the tiny creatures whose impact on humanity is far bigger than their bodies. These insects influenced fashion trends, rewrote global trade routes, collapsed civilizations, and even determined the outcomes of wars. Not bad for animals you could accidentally step on. Let's begin our journey with a creature that helped define luxury itself. The silkworm. Our first historical heavy hitter is Bombyx mori, better known as the silkworm, the tiny textile titan responsible for one of the most coveted fabrics in human history, silk. Over 5,000 years ago in ancient China, someone looked at a caterpillar spinning a shiny cocoon and thought, "I bet that would make fabulous clothes." And they were right. Silk became so valuable that China literally kept it a secret for centuries. If you leaked silk-making knowledge, you were basically committing espionage. This little worm helped establish the Silk Road, one of the most important trade routes ever created. The flea. Next on our list, an insect that didn't bring beauty or wealth, but instead delivered one of the darkest moments in human history, the flea. Fleas are small, itchy, and irritating. But in the 14th century, they carried something far worse. Yersinia pestis, the bacterium behind the Black Death. While rats often take the blame, it was fleas who rode into towns like medieval harbingers of doom, infecting millions. The plague wiped out 1/3 of Europe's population. It changed labor systems, collapsed feudalism, and reshaped cities. The honeybee. From darkness, let's move to sweetness. Specifically, the honeybee, history's favorite winged workaholic. Honeybees didn't just give us honey, though thank goodness for that. They gave us agriculture as we know it. Their pollination powers turned scattered wild plants into stable food crops that supported growing human populations. Today, bees are responsible for pollinating roughly 1/3 of the food we eat. Almonds, thank bees. Apples, bees again. That salad you pretend you enjoy, bees made that possible too. The mosquito. Our 4th insect may not be beloved, but its impact on humanity is colossal. The mosquito. Mosquitoes have killed more humans throughout history than any other animal, by an overwhelming amount. These buzzing needles on wings spread diseases like malaria, yellow fever, and dengue. But what's remarkable is how much they influenced human events. Entire wars shifted direction because malaria wiped out armies. Colonization patterns changed based on where mosquitoes thrived. The locust. When locusts swarm, they don't just arrive. They descend like a living storm, darkening the sky and stripping landscapes bare in minutes. Throughout history, locust plagues have caused famines, toppled kingdoms, and sent entire civilizations into chaos. What's fascinating is that locusts are basically grasshoppers with a mood switch. When population density increases, they transform, changing color, behavior, and even brain chemistry. Suddenly, your peaceful backyard hopper becomes part of a flying army capable of eating its own body weight every day. Now, it's time to see how much you've learned from today's episode. We've got 3 fun trivia questions coming up. Ready? Let's start. Question 1. Which insect helped establish one of the world's most important ancient trade routes? A. Honeybee. B. Locust. C. Silkworm. D. Mosquito. The correct answer is C. Silkworm. Silkworms produce the luxurious silk that sparked the development of the Silk Road, linking civilizations across continents. Let's try another question. Question 2. What makes locusts dramatically different from regular grasshoppers? A. They glow when stressed. B. They can breathe underwater. C. They change behavior and form massive swarms. D. They live inside beehives. The correct answer is C. They change behavior and form massive swarms. When crowded, locusts enter a gregarious phase, transforming into swarm-forming insects capable of devastating agriculture. Let's move on to the last question for this episode. Question 3. Why are mosquitoes considered one of the most influential animals in human history? A. They inspired silk production. B. They can pollinate entire forests. C. They change the outcomes of wars through disease. C. They change the outcomes of wars through disease. D. They were used as ancient currency. The correct answer is C. They change the outcomes of wars through disease. Mosquito-borne illnesses like malaria shaped military campaigns, settlement patterns, and even national development. Great job if you got all 3 questions correct. If not, you just learned how tiny insects shaped gigantic chapters of human history. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. we'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.